Hello, scrappers. Today I'm scrapping this old electric stove here. Look how old this thing is. That's old school. I'm just gonna get the good stuff out of it before I bring it to the scrap yard. I took a magnet to all this. It looks like stainless, but the magnet sticks to it, so I'm not really gonna waste my time. It's not like it's non-magnetic stainless. These are copper thermal pyro. They're worth about the same price as copper bearing, so I just throw them in my copper bearing bucket. But those are copper thermal pyro. This is really gross. I'm just gonna harvest as much of the good stuff as I can before I bring it to the scrap yard. I mainly want wires. You know, there's no electric motors in this. I'm doing this in the driveway, so I will be trying to pick up screws. This is where, look at that. Put these screws in my pocket. This is where the 6-in-1 excels. There's the good stuff. Looks burnt. That's the oven element where that plugs in. Look at all that yummy brass in there. Wonder if this whole top piece comes off easily. I don't have a ton of time. Scrapyard is closing soon. It's a solenoid. There's a big hunk of copper in there. Oh, I wish there was an easier way to get all this stuff. I'm like determined to get this piece of metal out. There's nothing in there anyways. This is another favorite scrapping tool. That's nasty. All right. So now that can just get caught. This has a big solenoid in it. And so far, so good. Making good time. What is that? Plastic? It looks like that's plastic. It's copper? That sparked. That sparked when I cut it. This has been unplugged for a while. There. I'll bring that to the scrapyard next week. If I can get rid of this today. The wires for the switch. Ah, the stove's gross. Now for the big wire. I'm gonna have to go through this area with my magnet later. Transformer here. Try and use a Phillips for a flat. Lots of Phillips in there. I need to get these out anyways. Do not know what the new oven is going to have. There's just a ground screw left. Done! So now this part can go to the scrapyard. And I can deal with the good stuff later. Easy peasy. So I load this into the truck. Alright, I am back from the scrapyard. There's no way that stove weighed 220 pounds. Well anyways, steel right now, or regular light gauge steel, ferrous number 2, is 4 cents a pound, almost 5 cents a pound. They gave me 10 bucks for it. Kind of find it hard to believe that that was 220 pounds. So there's all the bits that were in the stove. And here is the stove top. Oh, this is some thick steel. Yeah, it's all gooey and greasy. I don't want the smell of this attracting critters. So that's why I got rid of the stove. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Guess I'm going to do it down here like this. Yeah, I think this would have just, having that stove hanging out here in the yard would have just attracted critters. Did you see the size of the spark that came off of that? Unbelievable. And this stove sat out overnight. I just can't believe how big that spark was. I wonder if I have to get this metal plate out somehow. I'm trying to figure out how to get some of this open. I think I might have to start magnet stick to this. That's just regular steel. That's cast aluminum. I guess some gloves. Before I end up bleeding all over the place. Let me get this cast aluminum off. If it is cast aluminum. It's not plastic the way it's bending. Very heavy this stove is. They don't make stuff like they used to. I still say this is one of the best scrapping tools ever. The 6-in-1 screwdriver. These screws magnetic. Screws are magnetic. Crap all over the place. I got a mess. I need to clean. I don't even know where to begin on this. I see screws under here. They're almost impossible to get to. Unless I can bend it. And how did I manage to get that fluorescent bulb out without breaking it? We got some more tin. It's magnetic. This is going to be, well, it's got rust on it. So it's not stainless. But stainless can rust. If it's a lower grade stainless. And that looks like it's real glass. Ah, that's how the stuff comes out. There's screws hiding behind the knobs. Just out of curiosity. Plastic. Look how old this stove is. This thing's 1,000,000 years old. Stove was in the house when I bought it. Was in the house when I moved in like 15 years ago. This nasty old, gross, disgusting stove. Here we go. Get all the good stuff out of it at least. Very heavy stove. How did I miss this one? And these little switches can stay. I'll just cut the wire. Go gadget arm. Just cut the wire nice and close. What is this guy? Because this is actual glass here. I kind of don't want to break it. Yeah, that can stay. Those switches can stay. Whatever that is can stay. I bet that's magnetic stainless. That can stay. Mainly just want to smash and grab and get the good stuff. This will go to the scrap yard. Get a weight on it. I know you guys like to see how much all this stuff weighs. It's about 23 pounds. The cast aluminum can stay on there. And how come we're on repeat? Got some number 2 insulated. All right, let's get it going here. These ends here are almost always brass. Lots of nice goodies in a stove. What was this thing where that spark came out of? Some kind of transformer? I think this is where the spark came from. was a fluorescent light on the stove. So you would think that the spark came from from the transformer. What do we got in here? Bakelite. Pretty brittle plastic. Usually you can just crack it open. Phew, this stinks, whatever it is. Whatever I just unleashed. Look at those points in there. But that's silver. Old appliances like this, you never know. It's like Mr. Wilson's oven. There we go. That bends pretty easy. I think these are copper. Got some plastic, some more tin. Clean up some of this wire mess. Gotta make sure you clip all these off. Put all of our little brass bits together. That's crazy how that sparked. That's why you guys got to be careful scrapping. You never know. That could have been a heart stopper right there. That could have been the last item I scrapped. Yeah, these are fried. That's why I only had one working burner. Can't believe I used that stove that many years with only one burner in it. This is one of the stove dials. Kind of get an idea what's inside of this one. This is Bakelite. This should break easy. Kind of get an idea what's in one of them, so I know if it's worth my time. I do believe that is silver. That's a silver contact. So I will be pulling all these apart. I'm going to start a silver contact pile. It's cast aluminum. The little piece in the center is steel, this little E-clip. There's only so much of this stuff I I waste my time doing. Scrapyard can have that. Oh, look at this mess. This is where the big power plugged in. This was your hot, and your common. Once again, this is just very old Bakelite. It should just crumble. Stove controller. More tin. A lot of good scrap in a stove, in an older stove. This is a fluorescent housing. This has a bunch of brass in it. It's like Doc Brown's gonna come and take this for his time machine. That's what it reminds me of. This is some kind of temperature probe. Some sort of solenoid and a relay, it looks like. There's another stove controller. That's some non-magnetic stainless. Actually, it bends very easy. What is this made out of? Mystery metal. So it bends too easy to be stainless. I think that's aluminum. It doesn't weigh nothing. Cut the wire short on this little transformer. Now I gotta clean up this wire mess. Sort through this. We gotta save all these little brass connectors. That was fried. That's what depression looks like, guys. Have a 100-year-old stove in your house and just keep on using it. Whew, that took a while. Had to speed it up. Couldn't let you guys suffer through all that. I just got to pick out the non-brass. It's going to spin out nice for me. See what it's made out of first. Yeah, that's got to come out of the brass. Give us a little rivet out. I absolutely hate flatheads. I just keep on thinking to myself, eventually all the flatheads will be gone. Maybe not in my lifetime, but there's hope for the future. I have a dream. A world without flatheads. And now get out the non-brass. Now if you end up with a little bit of copper mixed in with your brass, that's no big deal, because when they're making brass, if they need yellow brass, they just add more copper. If they need white brass, they add more zinc. And that's how brass is made. A nice little pile of brass here. Throw that right in my brass bucket, just the way it is. This, that little piece right there is a silver contact. So isn't this little piece here. And this little piece. I bet there's more in this stuff. So I'm going to try to get the copper out of this transformer now. get this cover plate off, perhaps. Thought I was going to get that fly. My hands are getting... Carpal tunnel starting to get to me. There you go. I should have tried that the first time. Got some more tin for the tin bucket. How is this transformer made? Looks like I can break that weld, and it looks like the whole thing will just separate. Or maybe not. I was starting to get it. These poor 100-year-old channel locks. There. I should be able to get this out now. Just like that. Got some more tin for the tin bucket. Oh yeah. Number 2 copper, just like that. Magnet doesn't stick to any of this. This whole thing could go in your copper bearing bucket. Ooh, that's a nice silver contact. Some more copper. Another nice little silver contact. Getting a lot of silver today. Ooh. Back when this stove was made, they used to put silver in everything. This is non-magnetic stainless. And what is this metal made out of? Oh, that bends easy. Is that copper? That's copper. So this whole thing will go in the number 2 copper bucket. Sharp edges on it. That's definitely copper. What does this say? Relay? That's a switch. Another nice big silver contact. Screws. Another big silver contact. It's a flat tire maker. Of course they're going to make me change. Any more Phillipses on here? Kind of like to be done with one screw before I go on to the next. Because these are the size. Most scrapping can be done with basic hand tools. That's how I've always done it. Just strong hands and basic hand tools. There's going to be a nice little lump of copper in here. Nice little yummy lump. So that's got some weight to it. Ouch! There you go. That's it. Got it all. Just a piece of plastic left. Another nice little piece of number 2 copper. Silver contact. So that means every one of these has a silver contact on it. Oh, I broke it. Bakelite usually just breaks. Or explodes. If I remember correctly, that was, all except for that little ring, that's cast aluminum. There's that other little piece. Ooh, look at them all in that one. I'm going to get the silver contacts out of this one first. There's one on there. There's one there. Can't believe how fried all these contacts are. Silver contacts. Piece of cast aluminum. I am knocking stuff down. Some more tin for the tin bucket. Silver contacts in there. Little tiny ones. If I'm going to get the torch out and get the silver contacts off, I want the bigger ones. So these are just going to go get mixed in with the brass. Yeah, these are little tiny ones. There's a bigger one. There's two on that one. Yeah, these are little tiny ones. Plastic mess. I'm getting text messages. Or that, or those are YouTube comments. All the non-brass. Ah, there's a lot of non-brass. going to sneak that piece in. Quite a nice little pile of brass going. A lot of mechanical stuff in here. There's a little motor right there. Got little Torxes in here. Don't know if I have that size. Yes, I do. I don't have my adapter that's usually right here. Tin for the tin bucket. And I want this little chunk of copper out of there. This is all mechanical stuff, so I doubt there's any motors in here. So this can go in the tin bucket. And got some more number 2 insulated. And some more brass. And don't be afraid to mix a little bit of copper in with your brass. It's like I said before, we'll just add more zinc to it. And how is this going to come apart? Is this going to come apart nice? Or is this going to be copper bearing? Ah, I see the copper. Once I see it, I gotta have it. Alright, I'm going to call this copper bearing. That's welded in there pretty good. And I know if I cut it with a hacksaw, I'll just end up with little hair copper everywhere. I'd rather get something for it. So that's it, we're done. We got a nice little pile of silver contacts we'll be doing in the future. We got 6 pounds. So let's see what we got. Number 2 insulated. Had quite a bit of it here. A little over a pound. Cool. That goes in that bucket. We have some copper bearing. And some cast aluminum. And some non-magnetic stainless. Copper bearing. Non-magnetic stainless. Some aluminum. Oh, and these guys. This is copper thermal pyro. This can go in your copper bearing bucket, because at the scrapyard, about 3 1/4 pounds of it. At the scrapyard, this is a little bit right around copper bearing price. So I just showed them with my copper bearing, but it's copper thermal pyro. The scrapyard has a different price for it, but it's right around the same as copper bearing. And we got some number 2 copper. Getting to the good stuff now. Little over 1/4 pound of number 2 copper. This stuff adds up. I got a bucket full of it now. Got 4 more pounds of tin steel. You remember how heavy that was. That was about 23 pounds. Now for the brass. Oh yeah. A little over 1/4 pound. People think I'm crazy, but all this stuff adds up. Times are tough now. You never know. You might have to trade this for a ramen noodle. So just remember, guys, scrap is everywhere. All you gotta do is find it, sort it, and hoard it. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.